Jets head coach Robert Saleh said yesterday at the league meetings in Orlando, last year was a little loud. We welcome a bit of quietness. That's what he said. Chris, what did he mean?
He meant last year was freaking crazy, and I shouldn't be texting Joe Beningo behind the scenes and all that stuff anymore this year, and hopefully my quarterback's not going to run for vice president. That's what he means, right? So, yeah, they were the circus of the offseason last year. This year, they're not going to be quite, under the microscope or everybody trying to get at them on media and all that. They can have a little bit more of a quiet offseason, and I'm sure they'll welcome that.
Well, and what they like is, and Miles Simmons and I talked about this on Friday while you were in your hammock with your blunt and your pina colada, not necessarily in that order. Every coach wants to have his team not be the darling of the NFL. It's in your best interest to have your team overlooked and disrespected because when that happens, number one, you guys don't have massive egos, swelled heads bumping into the door frame, unlike yours, which just does naturally. And number two, sorry, couldn't resist. And number two, he can use that to put a chip on their shoulder. Nobody's taking it seriously. Nobody believes in us. Nobody respects us. Look, they have us finishing fourth in the division. That's better than being predicted to be first in the division because your guys don't have any newspaper clippings that they can get caught up in, and you can say everybody thinks you stink. That's what he's going to get this year. And also, Chris, what I'm going to be very interested in, because last year it was like every game was either night game or Black Friday game,
right?
Late afternoon game for the Jets. When the schedule comes out in a couple of months, less than that, month and a half, when it comes out, how many of those games this year are going to get pulled to prime time and big spots after last year? Like when you aren't riding this wave of expectation, the schedule makers might be a little, they got burned last year.
Yeah.
They might be a little hesitant this year. And that's good. Every coach, and you know this, would prefer that every game begins at 1 o'clock Eastern every week. Perfect routine. Same thing, Sunday to Sunday, same kick time every week. Just we're in that cluster of games, and nobody's really paying a lot of attention to it. It's like the Texans last year. It was perfect. Now, it wasn't great for fans because they're like, hey, these Texans, we'd like to see them, in a night game. Finally did late in the year, but that's what I think Saleh is hoping for, a team that is under radar, a team that no one has expectations for, and a team that can go about its business without all that extra noise that they had last season.
Yeah, I mean, come on. Yeah, we were all, can they go to the Super Bowl? Aaron Rodgers, what can he do? How awesome will they be? What's it going to look like? All of that. I mean, we couldn't get enough of it, right? So, yeah, between primetime games, I'll be interested to see their schedule in general because I think we both agree the last 2 seasons, they've probably had the hardest first 6 or 7 games out of any team in the NFL, which has been kind of crazy. But, yeah, they've done some things here to improve their football team. We know they're extremely talented to begin with. They got a lot of pieces there. They improved the offensive line. Yeah, but they're flying under the radar, and nobody knows what to expect from Aaron Rodgers and his age with the Achilles and all of that right now. So, most people are thinking Bills and Dolphins still in the AFC East, and the Jets kind of have slid through the cracks. So, we'll see where this goes, but I'm excited about the Jets. I really am. I'm excited to see what they look like with that O-line, Aaron Rodgers, Nate Hackett having the formula there with Rodgers, and then, of course, we know that defense is as good as anybody in football.
By the way, Chris, if you were perusing ProFootballTalk.com over the weekend, you might have seen that Ian O'Connor has an unauthorized biography of Aaron Rodgers coming in August of this year.
Wow.
Rodgers sat for a 2-hour interview, but it's still an unauthorized biography. He'd been working on Rodgers, he told me this yesterday, since the trade happened last year to give him an interview as part of this biography, and eventually he got 2 hours last month, and one of his observations was Rodgers looks jacked. He looks like he's put on some heft on his upper body. He looks like he's ready for a fight.
I like it. Yeah, listen, I think too many times guys get older. You've heard me say this, where they go, wait, I want to be faster like I was when I was younger, and there's no way to get that, and yet they lose weight and then they become actually less explosive, less strong, and just less physically stable. Where, yeah, Rodgers, you're not going to move like you were when you were 32, so just give that up. I don't care how much weight you lose. Be strong, be explosive, and be able to take a little punishment. And Rodgers is freaky. That's where, again, Aaron Rodgers in his prime is arguably the greatest talent in the history of football. And that's a little because, Rodgers has got real muscles. It's rare. He's a rare quarterback that can, lift in the weight room and you go, whoa. Rodgers is like jacked. He's jacked. He put on 10 pounds of muscle in a month. He is kind of freaky like that. That's why he, could run a 4.5 coming out of college, and he could throw a ball 80 yards and did some of the damnedest damn stuff I've ever seen at the position in the 2012, 13, 15, 17 years. He's incredible, and it's because of that body.
Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.